Good evening, everybody. For a change, I'm Roger, behind the camera is Jill, and we are Which Way Now?
Good morning everybody and welcome to the world famous Pampelone Beach. This beach is the closest one to our campsite. It's about 2.5 miles long. We're right at the end of it. I'm not sure which end, but I think it's the northern end, but I'm not absolutely sure of the beach. And as you can see, it stretches for miles and miles and miles. There's lots of private beach clubs on here as well. We're on the public bit of the beach, not on the naturist bit, which is just down there. We're on the public bit of the beach and we're hoping to have some sun, but it's quite cloudy today, so we'll have to see how it goes. We just cycled into St Tropez. It was about 6 miles or something like that. It seemed like it was all uphill, but I don't think it was, but my legs certainly thought it was. And now we've arrived, we've locked up the bikes and we're down one of the shopping streets. It's certainly very different to Gassin and Ramatuelle. Very much more designer shops. We've already seen people with Dior bags, that kind of thing. There's a hat shop that I'm standing outside here. And it's also very interesting in terms of the people who are here as well. Quite different to Gassin and Ramatuelle.
What you're made for, and there's nothing that is too late for. Out of the cold into my warm hand, in the sun, it's already begun.
This is the port of St Tropez, and as you can see there's lots of very large boats here, and it seems to be the trendy thing to come in on your very large boat and then come off into St Tropez and go to a club or something like that. We did try and think about getting aboard one or two, but we decided not to bother in the end. When we were on the beach though, we did see a huge boat, and Roger looked up online what it was all about, and it was for sale. 149 million euros. We couldn't quite believe the price, but there you go. It's just one of those things, I guess, isn't it? I'm not sure we're going to be buying one of those tomorrow. This is very much the quieter side of the harbour at St Tropez. Beautiful painted fishing boats here. I wonder how much they actually get used, but there are some nets and things, so maybe they do go out most days, I don't know. But you can also tell the noise level has dropped quite a lot here. So all the big boats are over there, except there's two huge ones which we're going to go and have a look at down the end of this pier as well. This is one of the huge boats that we were talking about. Obviously can't moor over there. It must be taller than the houses, and hopefully we'll show you just how tall it is.
You waver and slip and you get burned. But I'm here, so don't you worry, 'cause you know I'll be there in a hurry.
This is Pasha 3, I don't know how you say it, but it's dated from 1936, and I think it's one of the most attractive boats that we've ever seen in St Tropez actually. It's absolutely beautiful, wooden, everything about the wood is polished within an inch of its life. 9 guests and 7 crew I think it is, or maybe it's the other way around, I can't remember, but it's beautiful. We've literally just stepped 5 minutes away from the port, and this is a beautiful little cove, and there's locals over there swimming. It's absolutely gorgeous, and it's so much quieter than the main drag as well. This is a side of St Tropez that most of the tourists don't actually see. Again, it's away from the main shops, away from the main port area, and it's absolutely beautiful. People coming watch. St Tropez is definitely known as the home for lots of celebrities, and it started off being famous in the 1960s. Brigitte Bardot was the reason it became famous, and there was a film called And God Created Woman, and she launched both her career and the town into the international spotlight in the 1960s, and I don't think it's ever really looked back. St Tropez is famous for quite a few things, and one of them is the tarte Tropezienne, and Roger has just been in there to get a raspberry one, which he will try when we get home later on. We're a street back from the port now, and this is obviously the town square, and it's great. And it's a Saturday night, we're seeing lots of people in interesting outfits, but the most important thing, behind me, lots of men playing la bolle. We think it might be the equivalent of going down the pub to play darts, but they haven't got beers here, but I'm sure they will have afterwards.
You may have noticed that the only time I'm actually in one of these videos, as opposed to being the other side, is the fact that when I'm eating. Now, the reason for that is Jill's actually lactose and gluten intolerant, so anything nice is down to me, I'm afraid. As we mentioned earlier, we went to La Tarte Tropezienne, and apparently these are world famous according to their website anyway, and it was started by a Polish chap in 1955, and he went to a quaint French village called St Tropez, and he started this from an old family recipe, and apparently it took off big time, and when Brigitte Bardot tasted it, she thought it was absolutely wonderful and decided to, she was the one who actually came up with the name, apparently. Don't know whether that's true or not, but that's according to their website. So let's have a look to see what we've actually got here.
You've gone for one raspberry one, haven't you?
There are different ones that you can get, and it's absolutely enormous, I have to say. Oh dear. So I'm not sure how I'm going to eat this. I've got a spoon and a fork. Apparently it's a brioche roll with a secret recipe of cream that is only known to 3 people in the world. It's made fresh every day by one of those 3 people, presumably, and we will see what it's like. Not that big. That is right up my street, I have to say. It's nice and sweet. It's just delicious. Very nice indeed.
So we are staying at the Village Les Tournelles, which is a yellow campsite, and this is the Domaine de Tournelles wine. And we've cycled through the vineyards to get to the spa shop, and also I've run through them when I've done my runs in the morning as well. So we're going to try some of this wine. In fact, you can see we've already tried quite a lot of it, but it is very nice. So you might get the cork out, of course, which Roger put in, and it's kind of in. Oh no, it's going to come out. Hopefully. Pour some for Roger as well, so he doesn't have to have none. That finishes off the bottle. Cheers. Lovely, really nice rosé wine. So here we are again on Pamplona Beach. It's a much nicer day today, not nearly as windy. We've just been for a swim in the sea, and quite frankly we were disappointed with how chilly it is. I did say that on the first day we were here. It's not nearly as cold as Cornwall, obviously, but it's still pretty darn chilly. We thought it would be the warmest it was going to be, and obviously it's not going to be that warm this year. But Pamplona Beach is interesting. It's the closest beach to St Tropez, so during the day an awful lot of big boats come in and people come off the boats on tenders and helicopters to come to lunch at the beach clubs on this beach here. And that headland you can see over there, that's where all the multi-millionaires live, including the man who owns Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy, he is apparently one of the richest men in the world. And that was a lot of controversy during COVID times because they were the first ones in France to get their COVID vaccines. Just goes to show it's who you know and how much money you've got in it, really. We spent 6 days here in the south of France and it's been lovely. Beautiful warm weather, beach every day. It's been absolutely gorgeous. It wasn't what we intended to do, but we're very glad we've done it. And now we're going to spend the next 6 days or so pootling back to Roscoff for our ferry next week. So if you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and send us a comment.